Hello guys, Trinson here. I'm back with more r/entitled parents. Enjoy. Entitled mother kills my friend. This is a repost because the original got removed for no reason. I even got silver. This was 3 to 4 years ago, and I was told to post this story here because it is a sad one. This entitled mom killed friend. My disability isn't important in this story. Friend had severe epilepsy and cerebral palsy. He was not the luckiest person, but he always made an effort, and we all tried for him. He wanted to be in the marching band, and we made a drum lightweight so he could do it. So, you're asking, how did he die? Me and Friend were having a normal day, until the entitled girl jumped out and scared us. Friend had a little seizure, and we had to go to the hospital because it is a procedure. Apparently entitled girl got punished for scaring Friend. Entitled mom wasn't happy. The next day after school, entitled mom jumped at us and started shouting at us and saying how entitled girl didn't deserve that. Well, guess what? Friend was having a seizure over and over. He had them over 5 minutes and he was 12 to 13. Entitled mom, what is he doing? Stop that! Me, he's having a seizure. Now let me call the ambulance. He went unconscious and I started the CPR procedure. Police and ambulance came. I started shouting at them to hold the entitled mom, and I would go with Friend. I called his relatives. We were all gathering up in the room looking at the very last heartbeats he had. Then it went flat. After a while, I heard the entitled mom got arrested for manslaughter, and the family got £2,000. It doesn't make up for Friend's death though. TLDR, go to the top. My dog tore my ear in half, and crazy lady assaults me because she thinks I'm faking it. This happened when I was 8 years old. EP, crazy mom. EK, big 12-year-old kid with a twisted ankle. NU, nurse. I just got a brand new puppy a week before, and if you know Jack Russell Terriers, they're pretty aggressive and hyper. My brother and I were playing in the yard making leaf piles to jump in. My puppy wanted to play with us, but he kept ruining my leaf pile, so I pushed him away from the pile. He mistook this for a play fight and started to wrestle with me, jumping on me, and I was laughing and having fun until some puppy logic reason, he bit my ear and hung on it for 5 seconds. My ear split in half from where he bit me. My poor 5-year-old brother started screaming and crying at the sight of all the blood, so I also started screaming when I started to feel the blood gush down my head. My mom came out when she heard us screaming and immediately started giving me first aid. Puppy was put into puppy cage for timeout and looked very sad and sorry. She essentially wrapped as much gauze around my head as fast as possible and told me to apply pressure to the wound. My mom didn't let me look in the mirror since I looked pretty gruesome and kept reassuring me that I would be okay. I was pretty calm at this point but weepy since I was in pain. I was quiet and a shy kid. I didn't want to make a big scene. When we get to the hospital, I'm immediately put into the emergency pediatric care. We arrive at the same time as entitled parent and entitled kid, who are in hysterics since her son is in a lot of pain from his ankle. They're screaming and yelling as soon as they get in, whereas my mom, myself, and my younger brother are relatively calm. I look pretty scary since I have a huge bloody gauze wrap around my head. I also have blood all over my shirt and neck. I'm teary-eyed but not in a lot of pain. Either way, my case looks a lot more severe than her son, so they start giving me more attention, while they ask entitled kid and entitled parent to sit in the waiting room. Cue the hysterics. Entitled parent, why are you making us sit in the waiting room? Can't you see my poor son is in a lot of pain? Entitled kid, my ankle is broken. Ugh. God damn it. Nurse, we're doing the best we can, but your son isn't the priority right now. Entitled parent, how dare you? My son is crying and is in so much pain. That little girl isn't even crying. She's probably faking it. Nurse, she is bleeding a lot. She needs help for... Entitled kid, Mom, I want the doctor to look at my ankle, now! At this point, the mom is going crazy, and she starts pacing around the room while her son continues to wail. Nurse, you need to calm down, or I'm gonna call security. I'm currently crying a little since I'm scared. I start thinking that my injury is worse than it is. The lady starts to get angry when I start crying. Entitled parent, oh, you're such a good actor. Look, she's crying as if on cue. She starts to approach me and my mom starts to get protective and tells her to back off. I hide behind her while entitled parent pushes into my mom and reaches around and grabs a handful of my gauze and hair and pulls. I immediately start screaming from pain and fear, and my mom pushes her off, Blood starts gushing everywhere from my ear, and security comes running in and arrested her. At this point, she realized she fucked up, because she made a little girl cry and bleed everywhere. Her son shuts up at this point as he watched everything unfold. Doctors and nurses start running in and escorting me to the emergency room while my mom finishes the paperwork. I got 4 stitches. I asked my mom what happened after, and she told me that Entitled Parent got arrested, so Entitled Kid's dad had to come in and help him. Entitled Kid's ankle was just twisted instead of broken like he claimed. The mom got charged with assault on a minor but let it off with a warning. My puppy was named Max, and he passed away 3 years ago at the ripe age of 10 years old. I love him and forgave him, since he was just a baby and didn't know how to play yet. Rest in peace, Max. Entitled mom lets her son grab another kid inappropriately. On mobile, so formatting may be bad. Every few years, my school has a week-long trip where kids go on a boat to an island. I live in Japan. I got this information from my stepdad who was working there. Stepdad, SD, entitled mom, EM, entitled kid, EK. So the story begins on the beach of the island. Kids were socializing and playing around and whatnot, and our entire kid was in a group of other boys. Apparently, they were doing random dares. All of a sudden, while talking to my friends, I heard a squeal coming from a girl. Our entitled kid was dared to grab her boobs. My stepdad walks over and starts talking to entitled kid. Stepdad, what are you guys doing to her? Entitled kid, nothing, we were just talking to her and she got mad. Obvious excuse. Stepdad, are you sure? Because I saw you grab her chest. Entitled kid, Stepdad, come with me. My stepdad brought entitled kid back to the place we were staying at and called entitled kid's mom. Here comes entitled mom. Entitled kid, fake crying uncontrollably. Mom, I didn't know. Entitled mom, what happened to my baby? Stepdad, your son was caught touching a girl inappropriately. Entitled mom, my son? No, it must have been someone else. Look at him crying. Stepdad, I watched him do it. Entitled mom, even if he did do it, it's because he's never been away from me this long. He just misses his mommy and doesn't know what to do. He didn't know it was wrong. He's just a kid, and you're just accusing him of touching a girl. You probably did it, you pedophile. My stepdad was not having this. Stepdad, listen here, your son was caught touching a girl, and that's the end of it. He hung up, and entitled mom called back several times, and after about 20 tries, she gave up. Entitled kid was excluded from activities for the rest of the trip, and got suspended and several detentions when we got back. Not as eventful as some of the stories on here, but I thought I'll share. TLDR, Brad touches girl's boob on a trip and angry mom is called. And she calls my dad a pedophile and he got suspended at the end. Anti-vax entitled mom kills my teacher's son. So today, I walked with an old friend and this subject came up, so I decided to share it. I should also mention that I wasn't involved directly with this story and I only now managed to put the pieces together as this happened more than 8 years ago. So because of my parents' divorce, I moved every year to a different school until everything was sorted out. I was always a new kid, but nothing ever happened. One day, a week into this new school, we were, as a class, invited to a funeral of a kid. I thought it was weird since I didn't know anyone and didn't know what was going on. Turns out the kid used to be a part of the classroom before I joined, and his mom was a teacher. I never met her, she stopped teaching before I joined. They were pretty much liked by everyone and never had a problem, until the kid got leukemia. From what I've been told, it wasn't terminal yet, and the thing that killed him was that everyone went to see him in the hospital, including an unvaccinated kid. This kid died of chickenpox a while after, and because everyone knew and liked him, the principal allowed the class to go to his funeral. I remember there being a fight between a teacher and an entitled mom, but I never knew the details. Today, my friend told me the teacher sued and the entitled mom went to jail. Neither of us remembers any more details or even what happened with the unvaccinated kid. But at least I now know why I went to the funeral of the kid I didn't know. TLDR? Years ago, I went to the funeral of a kid I didn't know. Turns out he was the son of a teacher and died because of an unvaxxed kid. They won't let me have a grandchild, it's so unfair. I was sitting in the hairdresser's when I overheard a woman in her early 40s complaining that the NHS was not funding her daughter's IVF. The NHS considered a number of factors before funding IVF. One of them in age. This woman's daughter had to be in her late teens to 20s. I'm no expert, but I think they would say that is too young. The woman had a different theory. She was telling the hairdresser her daughter has autism. She has anger management problems, doesn't mix well with others, has difficulty looking after herself, etc. By the sounds of it, the girl is very autistic and unable to take care of herself, let alone a child. It's disability discrimination. I'm going to sue. She needs to have a baby. It will help straighten her out. This is really unfair. They have taken away my right to be a grandmother. I was really looking forward to it. The NHS haven't been through about how this will impact me. She didn't mention how the daughter felt about this decision. She didn't mention anything about a father or his feelings. It was just all about her and how it's going to ruin her life. I was so glad when she finally left. She made the hairdresser feel so awkward. That will be all from me for today. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. I'll be back with more Reddit reads tomorrow. Have a nice day, guys.